Today I have to ask you and Lou, has Japanese anime completely ruined Disney stories?
That is a tough question. What do you mean by ruin? Because I don't think anime impacted, actually if anything, Disney has impacted anime. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that was already stated. So I don't see how Japanese anime would ruin Disney.
Here's how I see it, right? I think the production value, the storytelling, and not adding agendas into all their shows and movies have now pulled a crowd of people in to the genre that are now just fascinated with amazing storytelling. Disney used to be story-centric, if you will, but Disney has now moved away from it, and they're more or less promoting certain things that they want to push on the public. And I think a lot of people have now grown in love with anime, and when they go and they watch a Disney movie, they don't see the storytelling being as tight as you would have in an anime.
That's not Japanese anime ruining Disney. That's Disney falling asleep on their law, or resting on their laws. In the sense that, like you said, they used to have the great stories. They were the people for the stories. Even after 2D animation, as far as Lion King and things like that nature,
Lion King
was falling off, they bought Pixar, who also had great stories, you know what I'm saying, Up and things of that nature. So I wouldn't say it's Japanese anime. I just think Japanese anime is staying true to what it was doing for this whole time, which is great storytelling, great animation. Obviously, animation improved dramatically over time, but because they're staying true to stories, mythology, and things of that nature, and Disney's straying towards agendas, and that's why people are going, because people love stories. Stories has been integral in society for years. People always love a good story, you know what I'm saying? Good twist. We all love that. So because anime has stuck to what makes them popular and Disney has veered off, I think that's why anime is growing in popularity.
I think where Disney is messing up is there are dedicated genres for everything. Yes. You always have a target audience every time you put a piece of material out. It doesn't matter what it is. If you have a romance film, you know the target audience is usually women, right? Mm-hmm. Disney just violated it. They decided that, hey, we're going to use a vehicle that men like in certain films, not all their stuff, and they're going to stuff it with things that they want to promote. Exactly. And guys are rejecting it. And when you watch anime, you don't get that feel. Obviously, you already know anime has genres that are dedicated to every group, be it young men, young women, and even like boy on boy, girl on girl type stuff in anime. Yes. That's always been part of their genre. Yes. But they never felt as if they needed to cross it into another one of their genres. Exactly. Because they know that group enjoys this and this group enjoys that. And if somebody wants to dabble into another type of story, they'll just move to the other genre and see the work that has already been produced in that particular genre. I think Disney themselves are like, I don't care that you like this. I'm gonna take an intellectual property like the X-Men or something, even though they don't have an X-Men movie yet, right? We're gonna take this and we're going to add this element that we want to push into that particular movie or TV show. And I think the audience, obviously, being men, we're smart. We're not kind of falling for it, you know? It's even to the point where they try to lure you in, but it's a bait and switch.
Yes.
They'll pretend like the whole show or the whole movie is about this particular character, and let's just come up with a character. They'll say we have homeless man, right? And it's a story about a homeless guy who gets these superpowers and fights crime. And they'll promote the movie like that, or the show. The moment you start to see that movie or the show, it becomes a story about his daughter running around town doing things instead of homeless man. You see homeless man like 3 or 4 times during the whole movie, and you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was about a guy getting superpowers, right? But really they just wanted to push something, but they needed to trick men into doing it. And it's only so many times you leave a bad taste in a person's mouth if you constantly do that. Because a lot of guys have told me that they're just tired of the stuff that they're putting out for the Marvel stories, because they feel like they're gonna be bait and switch. They don't know exactly what they're actually getting.
Obviously perfect examples of that is like Hawkeye. People felt like they bait and switch.
Hawkeye was a bait and switch.
But this is why this is happening. Anime, or people who create Japanese anime, always knew who they were, and Disney's trying to catch up to what's going on in society now. Anime has always had the BL, the boys love, the Yao, the shonen, the shoujo. They've always had it. This has always been their thing.
Always been in the genre.
So they don't have to catch up to the times because they've always been doing this. Whereas in Disney, those things were never shown, and if they wanted to do that, that's fine. But they were never shown. And now I feel like they're like, oh man, we're so behind on time. We're trying to catch up and kind of force the issue.
Yeah,
but the problem is that anytime you try to force the issue to any group, they're gonna be resistant towards it. And that's what's happening. There's a lot of guys who love Marvel. And there's a lot, and obviously I'm one of them. And there's a lot of great characters in Marvel or in that universe that are female characters and male characters. But when you start changing characters from female to male and male to female, it ruins the story. One, because again, all these characters usually have stories, and the stories that we've been reading since we was kids with comic books. But now you're foregoing the source material. You're trying to change and add characters in. We're doing all this other stuff, and true fans of the art are not gonna receive it well.
It's disrespectful in the sense that they think you can't. We're going to make the story secondary.
Yeah.
But we want to show representation, right? That's like their whole little thing that they're pushing. Even though I do feel as if Disney, let's be real, they're using black people as shields. They want to really push a strong female character in some of their movies, but they always add like a side black character just in case they get backlash. They get to say that, oh, these people just don't like black people. No, don't stop using us as shields. We notice that you're doing that. It's where black people are hip to that. Stop it. Don't put us in a position where everybody online is attacking our actors and actresses. That's just strange.
Like you said, they understand that certain things are buzzworthy or certain things you cannot do. So the reason why they use the black people as a shield is because nobody wants to be labeled as a or anything like that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be labeled as certain names and certain things because at the end of the day, it can ruin your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they kind of set it up where you don't want this, you don't be called this, you don't want this to happen to you. So people can't really complain about the other issues that they see. You know what I'm saying? Because then they're gonna bring it back to, you know what I'm saying, this issue or that issue. And the reason why, and I think this is why people are flocking to the whole anime thing. People just want to watch good television. That's what it is. People just want to watch good shows. Whether it's anime, whether it's like Squid Games or any of these things. All these things are just great stories that are being told.
Here's the thing for me. Why even gender swap when you have just the largest catalog of women characters?
Bro, I would love to see a Jubilee movie.
I would love to see a Storm movie.
Exactly.
But they're not gonna do a Storm movie because they don't, it's like they don't even believe in their own product. The fans.
But you gotta remember, it's not their product.
That is true.
Marvel is not their product. And that's why they feel so comfortable because, and this is how I truly feel. When an artist gives their rights, their intellectual property to a corporation, that corporation doesn't care about the art. So they're gonna do whatever they choose to do with that intellectual property because they don't care about it. But if you cultivate this, you create these backstories, you gotta connect with your characters and all that stuff. Us being as creators, we understand like some of these things you feel like are your baby. You're like, oh man, it took me weeks to edit this video. It took me all this time. So you're gonna do what's best for that product or that, you know what I'm saying, that content. Whereas if somebody buys it, they're not gonna treat it like how you would treat it. And because Stan Lee's not around anymore, they're just gonna do whatever they see fit with that type of content.
Look at this, right? How many animes do you know that have female leads and people love them? It doesn't even have to be a female lead sometimes. She could be a side character and people absolutely love the character. Yes. Go to any anime convention. See how many people dress up as that character. And it's always a well-developed character. Attack on Titan,
Mikasa.
Right? Mikasa. That is a phenomenal character. If Attack on Titan was not an anime, it was a story that Disney acquired. And Disney did a movie or a TV show exactly like that anime is. People would fall in love with that show. Every single character.
Demon Slayer, perfect example.
Demon Slayer.
Nezuko barely even talks she doesn't talk in the show, but she's a fan favorite and everyone loves her. Because again,
a woman who has no lines is a fan favorite. Did you hear that?
A fan favorite.
A woman with no lines. And they love the character. Beloved.
Because at the end of the day, that character is playing the role that they're meant to play. And that's what it is. Like, you don't have to be the star of the show to be beloved. You like, obviously, one of my favorite characters, and if not my favorite character in One Piece, is everybody knows is Bon Clay. I love Bon Clay. He was hilarious. But I understand that he filled his role. I'm probably not gonna see him again in the show, but he will always be one of my favorite characters. His role, they didn't have to push him on me. They didn't have to, you know what I'm saying, try to bring him to the forefront. If Disney would acquire One Piece, Bon Clay would be the star of the show. And that's the problem with it.
I think the Japanese take more pride in the art form. They take a lot of pride in the storytelling and the visuals and the symbols that they present in those particular shows or films. And I think that's what really separates them. The love of the art. Because they love it so much and they have attention to detail, we notice that. We pick up on that. I feel chills when I'm watching certain anime.
Goosebumps.
Like absolute chills. I sit back where my mind is blown. Episodes have ended and I'm sitting there like, holy smokes. Like that's the feeling that it gives me.
It's an honor thing. They honor what they're doing. A lot of these guys, they're not making that much money. It's a level of honor that you get from having an anime that's very popular and very successful that these guys cherish. They don't mind not making that much money because they feel like they're doing something that's honorable.
Well, hopefully they get it together. But hey, man, you tell me what you're enjoying more now. Are y'all enjoying anime or what Disney's producing? Let me know in the comments section. And I'll see you on the next one.